except for 2 Reavers on one side and only a single Reaver on the other. And it looks like Zchen was playing a little bit risky, kind of floated this shuttle out. This is really kind of scary with these Dragoons right here. Fortunately for him, Darren doesn't have an observer in position. Zchen just now getting his base up. It looks like he's, and that's quite a bit delayed, and moving down. He needs to get some probe kills. Let's see how Darren reacts to this. It looks like he is able to get those across, but not pressing an attack forward on the front door in the meantime. Observer did get picked off, and just going to delay a little bit of mining there. Not able to get much else. Backing off, didn't want to lose his Reaver there, but not able to really commit, get a good shot. But at the same time, didn't end up losing his Reaver, and needs to be careful. Takes a shot there on the front door, and right now Darren, actually, if he engages this, is not in too shabby a position. He's got a close reinforcement point. He's got 2 Reavers in his shuttle, and Zchen, it looks like he knows it. He's going to back off. That observer's still sitting inside Chen's base, giving all sorts of information to Darren. First of all, he's getting a good look at the unit composition that's kind of flooding out. In the meantime, it looks like we're seeing finally a 4th gateway placed by Zchen, and it looks like he's also getting the Citadel of Vadun. Those Zealots, I think he's actually going to skip straight to High Templar, specifically because Zealots on this map looks like we have 5 gateways, by the way, on the opposite end for Darren. He's going to be a little bit more delayed on that Templar tech. I feel like the High Templar are much more effective across these bridge areas than Zealots are in the midfield, and really what it's going to come down to is the fight over these additional expansions, either at 3 o'clock or 9 o'clock positions specifically, and you can see where Psystorm is a lot more effective than Zealots. Zealots just can't get the swarm, and where I think the battles will happen. This is very clever from Zchen right here. He's moving up. He knows he can't really hold this position. He knows he's not really, he doesn't have map control right now, so he's going to just place a pylon down right here, almost sacrificially, as a $100 mineral scout to make sure that Darren can't push up and take that base. And additionally, once he does move out to that direction, if he puts any troops, commits any of them that direction, he'll be able to see them coming. He'll be able to kind of engage. He'll be able to kind of get a good look. And it looks like he's going to send out a probe scout just to try to see what's going on out in the field, not committing an observer here. Actually, 2 probes, interestingly enough, to do a little bit of scouting. Darren now actually moving up, getting aggressive. And let's see if he can get another pylon here at the 6 o'clock as well. If he plants one here, that could really delay Darren, even though Darren has map controls. You can see he's got a lot of Dragoons flooding up. He's in a pretty good position to apply some pressure, and it looks like we actually are going to see Zealot leg speed before the Templar tech, which again, I feel like Templar tech would be a little bit more valuable in this situation, but we are seeing a lot of Zealots being produced. It looks like 6 gateways pumping everything, especially because again, just a little bit of a pylon right there to disrupt the Dragoon mining. Let's see if these 2 Reavers will be able to take it out in short measure. Or Zchen, nope, Zchen not going to disengage it here. Much inferior force, actually. Darren might be able to roll through this depending on engagement. Never mind another attack force coming from the right there. But you can see where Zealots just can't effectively get a surround right there. Even if they do manage to run up, the Reavers can just pile into them right now. And right now it's really up to Darren to go up and either take a base or get aggressive and attack that front door. He's kind of in a bad engagement spot. As you can see, basically the Dragoons spread, the Zealots, they can come from both directions on Darren, where Darren has to engage essentially just across this ramp where his units get kind of cramped, and he's having a little bit of trouble controlling right there. And that was a lucky Reaver shot, going up and killing 2 Dragoons right there, almost the flippant shot. Yeah, he's having trouble controlling his units as they're coming across here. But what Darren really needs to do right now is, while he's got troop position right here, while Zchen is a little bit distracted, while Zchen can't really press out, he needs to go and take another base either at the 3 o'clock, looks like he's in a observer checking right there, either at the 3 o'clock or at that 6 o'clock location. He needs to use this map advantage now to go get some sort of troop count. It looks like he is moving some Dragoons across that 3 o'clock and moving his troops out a little bit too far right there. Again, losing control of them, I think, a little bit, and engaging, losing a couple additional troops. And in the meantime, Templar Archives is up. We see some High Templar being produced, and Darren really needs to hurry up and do something with this map control. Otherwise, he might end up getting his entire army Psystormed, lose map position, and end up kind of behind in this match. Looks like he is getting that Psystorm upgraded right now, so Darren has about a minute and a half here to really engage this between when the Psystorm will be upgraded and also when the energy will be in those Templar to work with. At 6 o'clock position, another pylon being planted as well. Let's see if this probe moving up. I actually not sure that's a block position on that nexus. It in fact is not. It can spot that, but then that's unfortunate for Zchen. He was in a good position to block that out, but not quite. It was a good thought, just bad execution. It looks like another Dragoon kind of wandering up and getting annihilated. And now the High Templar are moving up. They don't have quite have any energy for Psystorm just yet, and I'm kind of curious about this engagement from Zchen. I mean, yes, he needs to break out, but you'd think he'd wait for Psystorm. I think he's regretting that decision to push out now, backing right back across that lane. He wants to make sure he doesn't get contained. Although at this position, it's not that he can still kind of escape across that 3 o'clock. I think he's a little bit worried about that 6 o'clock going up, a little bit nervous, but yeah, he just needs to be patient, wait for that Psystorm, which again, still not finished. And really what Darren needs to do is seeing those High Templars move up, kill these High Templar, try to pick off that Reaver as well, and he needs to pick off these High Templar now while the storm is still in them. Looks like Darren lost one Reaver. He's able to pick off the other Reaver on the opposite side. I'm not sure he's going to be able to preserve his shuttle with his Reaver in it. And now the Psystorm kicks in. Darren going to end up losing, it looks like, a good amount of Dragoons on the front, and Zchen actually in a position where he should be able to push against this because he's got very weakened Dragoons in front of him. He's got a good engagement point. He's got reinforcements on the short lane, and he should be able to attack, move forward, either secure one of his own bases or try to push through. Unfortunately, if he decides to push to the 6 o'clock location, he's leaving himself extremely exposed. If he decides to push into that natural expansion, he's also very exposed. And Zhel's running up. Zchen actually overextending himself a little bit. Needs to back up just for a minute here. It looks like he does have some High Templar kind of beautiful storm right there. Archon right on top of the Zealots, but the Zealots still able to get right on top of the Dragoons. And Zchen actually now has to back off. He's pushing too many troops forward. He's actually going up, it looks like, into a superior economy with fewer troops. And you can just see the desperation. He really wants to push forward and get in and on top of this. It looks like Darren is now going to back off. I actually think he could have continued to engage if he decided to push those reinforcements. It looks like he did get some more Zealots pushing up in this attack force. But Zchen, desperate, continuing to attack this forward. Looks like he's got a probe setting up that 12 o'clock location. Finally, Zchen being sent back home. Darren has basically held. He now controls the 6 o'clock. He's able to push Zchen back. He's going to maintain that economic lead, and he's going to be in a really good position to win this match. It looks like they're just about at even supply right at this stage, but you can see the big differences in that gas supply. And we still haven't seen any High Templar from Darren. It looks like he's getting weapons 1. Psystorm just finishing. He's still at, it looks like, 6 gateways. He's got some additional Psystorm developing. A couple kind of an odd pylon out there in the field, I guess, just to kind of check troops if they're looping around. And Zchen once again getting his expansion much later than Darren. It looks like Darren might be able to ride this lead all the way to the end. So more Zealots, some more High Templar moving out, and he really needs to get something done. I think his best bet actually right now would be some storm drops. Just drop, get a shuttle out there, drop something behind here, maybe even suicide something along 6 o'clock on the way to the main as well. Maybe even some Dark Templar, because I haven't seen very good observer coverage from either player right now out in the field. As you can see, not a lot of observer protection out here, and I haven't seen a Darren kind of have an observer out here at all. In fact, I think if in that last fight he had an observer, if Zchen had an observer of his own, pick them off and use some Dark Templar underneath, the fight might have been completely turned around the other direction. Looks like he got weapons 1 a little bit earlier than Darren here. He's got about, I would say, 15 seconds before Darren is going to have his weapons 1. I don't think he's really going to be able to exploit it, though, because I don't think he has the troop count really to work with. Darren continuing to get the troops out, and it looks like Zchen is actually going into more of a defensive position rather than playing offensive. It looks like he wants to try to sneak in expansion rather than try to play aggressive and try to catch something in this field. And I don't like this play because it's just asking for it. You're just going to spread yourself too thin and going up against a superior economy. You know you're going to be facing too many troops. You're just hoping you're getting attacked head on in some sort of advantageous situation, and it's just, I really don't see it happening at any location. It looks like he's just plopping a pylon down there. In the meantime, the best thing you can hope for is Darren to screw up his troop composition, and I don't see that happening. Looks like he's keeping a pretty good Archon Zealot Dragoon composition. He's also got the 3 High Templar kind of trailing, and yeah, he's done a very good job of maintaining a very, very nice unit composition at this stage. It looks like some more High Templar flooding out. Pretty even armies at this stage, but yeah, I think Zchen just has too much territory to cover. It looks like a couple cannons down even at the 6 o'clock location to provide some of that additional padding defense. It just feels like Darren is just quite a bit ahead. It looks like he's just checking out that 12 o'clock location. Let's see if, upon seeing that 12 o'clock location, if he decides to attack. Keep in mind, he doesn't know when that expansion went up. I think he assumes he has that economic lead just because he was pinned out, but he doesn't know that Zchen didn't take that expansion in the dark earlier, and maybe that's why he didn't have as many troops, even though he did kill those 6 probes earlier. You know, the little mind game, what it looks like. Another sneeze commentary. It does look like Darren is going to, in fact, engage here. He's got an observer right above, and he actually knows exactly, precisely what he wants to target. And this is going to be a very critical engagement for both players. A couple of Zealots being a little bit too frisky right there. And High Templar. Oh man, High Templar are getting nailed, and several High Templar are getting taken out on Chen's side, and that is going to be the deciding factor in this fight. More so, and also the engagement. It looks like Zchen just kind of gliding into the attack forces of Darren, and some excellent side storms from Darren, just absolutely destroying Chen's army. Additionally, Zchen did not get any side storms off, it looked like, on the opposite side, so Darren is going to be able to waltz right into Chen's natural expansion. That is going to be GG right there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Moving on to the next set, so it looks like West is going to go up over East 1-0.